Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyana Habib Ilahi Rabbil Alameen Abil Qasim al-Mustafa Muhammad wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin al-ma'sumin al-mazlumin siyama baqiyatullahi al-azam baqiyatullahu khairun lakum in kuntum mu'minin ruhi wa arwahil alamin li maqdamihim fida. وصلى الله على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين ولعنة الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. Amma ba'd, Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Question Time, a weekly program that is presented to our viewers in regards to the important issues and the questions that are raised by our viewers via email, and you can also do that or via telephone that comes under the captions. As we are in the month of the Qada, which is one of the important months in Islam, there are a few questions raised in regards to this month, in regards to the importance of this month, particularly in regards to that prayers that is known as the prayer of Tawbah, Salat of Tawbah, which has been prescribed by the Prophet to be recited on a Sunday. So any Sunday of the month is recommended, and we will be looking at the importance of this prayer and the way to recite this salat, these prayers. Now, prior to delving into the questions in regards to the prayers and in regards to the month, I just wanted to introduce the month of the Qada as the fazilat or the importance of this month. As we all know that this is considered to be the first month of haram, first month which is known as a unique and special month, Muharram. It's like ihtiram, it's honored, respectful, spiritual, the month of the Qada in the Quran. As we know that in the times of the Jahiliyyah, even this month was well respected in the months of haram, such as the Qada and Dhil Hijjah and Ramadan, so on and so forth. Fighting was prohibited amongst the Jahiliyyah as well. They would not have battles and war in order for the respect of the month. If you may recall, we had mentioned that there were certain practices of the Arabs, of the Jahiliyyah, which stems out from the traditional Hanafi, which is Deen Hanif, which is the religion of Hazrat Ibrahim. It stems out from there, which Islam, when it came, it endorsed with certain conditions. Like for example, Hajj. In the month of Dhil Hijjah itself was a special month, and Hajj was a special type of worship which ends up with a sacrifice, and that the people will come from all across the globe, from all over the world, who were the follower of the Deen Hanif, and they will practice this. Those who were believers of Deen Hanif, and also those who kind of later on perverted their belief, started believing in idols, and these idols were in Kaaba, and they would come and sacrifice, they would come and perform Hajj during this month. So therefore, Hajj and the rituals of the Hajj that existed that existed and that are existing is a continuation of some of the practices of the time of the Jahiliyyah. For example, ihram, for example, circumventing the Kaaba, for example, the sacrifice. So when Islam came, it kind of put certain condition and changed few things. Like for example, ihram was one of the requirement of entering this holy city for everybody. However, during the time of Jahiliyyah, the requirement was that the ihram should be bought in Makkah itself. And those who cannot afford to buy the ihram in Makkah, they would circumvent the Kaaba, they will go around the Kaaba naked, without wearing any clothes, because they cannot afford to buy ihram, because they are not supposed to wear clothes which they have brought. So this practice was changed. Now ihram is something that is required, but not necessarily that they should buy in Makkah. This was more of a capitalist mentality, in order to have money, for example, for the Meccans, for those who are the custodian of the Kaaba. They restricted this and they brought this condition, and this became a practice, and the people who were following, they were practicing this. Now what I'm trying to say here is that Ziqada was a month of haram, was a Muharram, was a respectful spiritual month even at the time of Jahiliyyah. One of the fazilat of this month is that this month, during the time of Hazrat Ibrahim, was part and parcel of the preparation of the month of Dhul Hijjah, because the next month is Dhul Hijjah. So the practices, so the preparation of the month of Dhul Hijjah and Hajj already started in Dhiqada. You see, obviously the making of Kaaba, Hazrat Ibrahim and Hazrat Ismail, finally they made the Kaaba. So it's a process. Gradually it reached the month of Dhul Hijjah. So Dhiqada, one of the fazilat of Dhiqada is that it is attached to this powerful ibadat of Hajj, right? So as it is attached, it contains that barakah and blessing. So it becomes with that fazilat, that it is attached to this great month of Hajj, and the preparation, as even today, for example, usually after the after the birth of Hazrat Imam Rida alayhi salam on the 11th of Dhiqada, where we have the function farewell for the Hajis, they part farewell. Usually we start in the month of Dhiqada, and many people leave in the month of Dhiqada itself to spend more time in Medina and Makkah. So Hajj is already starts to flourish in the month of Dhiqada, and that's why it becomes special, right? Now that's number one. Then the other thing that we find this month, it begins with the birth, as we celebrated the birth of Hazrat Masuma. The first of the month is the date of the month of the birth of Hazrat Masuma, a great lady, a great honorable lady, who had the true ma'rifat of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam. This is very important, to have the correct understanding of the maqam of imamat, who imams are, to have that true knowledge and understanding of wilayat that brings about the true understanding of tawheed. Then when a person have that individual, that person becomes a source of ma'rifat, of understanding, of knowledge for others. Hazrat Masuma today, because she was sincere, because she had that true understanding and ma'rifat of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam, of tawheed, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then she becomes the source of ma'rifat of tawheed. That's why you have this, the most important seminary, the only seminary today that has flourished and that is flourishing, that trains, that teaches the ma'rifat of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam, is Qom today. Yes, it was Najaf at a given time, right? And today as well, by the contribution of the scholars, by the return of many great scholars from Qom to Iraq after that sort of regime of Ba'athit, now it's been freed, it is starting to flourish. Hazrat Masuma Salamullah alayha, the same, she in her lifetime she had that ma'rifat and understanding. Hazrat Zainab Salamullah alayha, the same. So every individual and person that have that ma'rifat, that becomes the source of ma'rifat of others, where it becomes a hawze ilmiya, where it becomes a source of knowledge. People go there to study and educate themselves, number one. Number two, people go there for spiritual retreat, for spiritual upliftment, for ziyarat, where with this ziyarat, automatically the ma'rifat of Tawheed increases. Automatically they do ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So all of the shrines of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, because of their true understanding of maqam of Tawheed, of the phenomena of Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they become in the dunya the source of ma'rifat of God, and also after they die they become the source of upliftment of the community, to make them understand what true Tawheed is, what really means to believe in one God, what really means to practice true Islam, to fulfill the teachings of the Quran and to bring the teachings of the Quran in one's life. So the first of the month begins with the birth of Hazrat Masuma salamu alayha. Then you have the birth of Imam Rada alayhi salam. Then you have the 25th of the Qada, which is full of fazilat, which is known as the day of Dahwal Ard, where the earth was spread, where the earth comes out from the water on the 25th of the Qada, which also becomes the birth of Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, the birth of Hazrat Ibrahim, and it is a very special day which have other unique events that have taken place in history, and it becomes very special. And they are amal of that month. See, every month which tend to have amal, that month becomes with great fazilat, because it is giving us an opportunity to God. Every maqam which tend to connect us to God, that maqam, that place becomes very unique. The concept of time and space is very important. Time, every time that connects man to God is a special time. The time of prayers, the time of Ramadan, the time of Hajj, the time of Arafah. It's very special time. That time connects man to God. The time of birth, when that lady is given birth to a child, is a time, at that labor is a very special time for her. And at the time of nikah, when that nikah is being recited, is a very special time. Yes, this is a special time sometimes for the individual and for the community and the masses as well. You know, there are two ways of dividing this time. At a given time, it is for that particular person. This lady is in a labor. However, as she is in the labor, the people that are around who are participating, the people that are around who are assisting and help, the people who are in relationship with her, because it says the du'as are accepted. So people request the lady who is in labor to do du'a. So it becomes special for those people who are around her and for her particularly. Sometimes the time is special in regards to the whole community. The time of the month of Ramadan, the time of prayers, the time of certain months. Now, why this time becomes special? Because of this time is bringing us close to God. That's why this time becomes special. So any time that brings us close to God becomes special, right? Now, insan, a human being, have so much power that he could make any time special. Because insan have that power. So he sits at 11 o'clock in the morning and recites a dua, for example, becomes special. He buys a ticket and goes to haram for ziyarat, that time becomes special. See the qudrat, the power of insan that Allah have given insan. He could change things. He could give life to time by making that time special, right? For him particular. And sometimes there are special sort of unique interventions of God that makes that time special, like these months, for example. Or for example, like earthquake, sun, for example, solar eclipse. It's in the hands of God. God have set it that way, and it becomes special, right? Where there are prayers there, where it is connecting to God. So the time, because of the solar eclipse, it connects to God. It becomes unique and special, right? So now the month of the Qada, it is unique and special from the divine intervention, it has become unique and special. Because this time is connecting to God, because in this month there are certain things that have unfolded which provides that connection to God. That is in regards to time. Then you have in regards to makan, in regards to the place. You have zaman and makan, time and space. Now in regards to makan of Arafah, under the shrine of, under the dome of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Karbala, Makkah, places where holy personalities are buried, the haram, masjid, makan, the place that in your house, mustahab, that make one special place that you always pray there, makan, becomes special and unique. Because this makan, once again, the principle is that this makan is connecting me to God. So this makan becomes special. Anything that connects me to God, while keeping in mind that Tawheed, when we say God, that true understanding of Tawheed should be there. Arafah was Arafah at the time of Jahiliyyah. People would reside there, people will be there. That makan was special, yes. But what ma'rifat and what understanding of Tawheed it was bringing. If it was bringing true ma'rifat of Tawheed, that makan is special. There are awliya buried, there is a grave there, there is a special makan. But is that makan bringing the true understanding of Tawheed in accordance to the understanding, the amount of understanding, the capacity of the opening of the heart by performing that act? How much is that? In accordance to that, it becomes special. Ziyarat of Imam Hussein. Who was Imam Hussein? What Tawheed he preached? What Tawheed he sort of saved and gave us? And when we do that ziyarat, how much our heart expands. So that makan becomes very unique and special. Okay, now this was in regards to zaman and makan. It's very important to have this understanding and approach our time and space in this regards, in this relation. Now, this month of Dhul Qa'dah is connected to the first 10 days of the month of Dhul Hijjah. So it gives you a good 40 days of purifying oneself. It's a good chilla, as they say, as 40 days, as 40 is very important. The adad, the level of 40 is very important to really carry out amal in 40 days. Yes, we might have missed the opportunity, but you can start. It is you who makes that 40. It is you who make that zaman and makan special, because insan have that power, that ikhtiyar, and this is the blessing of God. It is Allah who have given us that ikhtiyar, that power to do so. So from the 1st of Dhul Qa'dah till the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, it's a good 40. And obviously, as we know that the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, there's a special prayers. Musa alayhi salam was also on the mountain of Tur. After 30 days, he was given the 10 more days. وَوَعَدْنَا مُوسَى ثَلَاثِينَ لَيْلَةً وَأَتْمَمْنَاهَا بِعَشْرٍ. Musa was promised 30 nights. وَأَتْمَمْنَاهَا بِعَشْرٍ. And then we provided them with 10 more. 10 more was given, making that 40. So, and that prayer is there to be recited between Maghrib and Isha during the month of Dhul Hijjah, where one would be able to grasp the reward of the Hajis and much more, and others by practicing it with ikhlas. Now, this month is the month of Haram, begin with the birth of Hazrat Masuma, month which have the 25th of Dhul Qa'dah, the Dahwal Ard, and the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah connected to this. And also there is a special prayer in this month which the Prophet have mentioned, which is known as the prayer of Tawbah. Tawbah means returning back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With Prophet of Islam have mentioned that whosoever performs this prayer, he will be considered to be from those who have been forgiven. Now let me read you the way of performance of this prayer. It is quite important. And what is the fazilat, and what happens if a person who recites this? Whosoever performs this prayer and his prayer, this namaz of tawbah, his tawbah will be accepted by God. Allah will accept his tawbah. His sins will be forgiven. This prayer will become the reason of barakat for him and his family. On the day of judgment, those who have haqq on him, those who have sort of talab, those who that he owe people, right? Those who that he owe people on the day of judgment, they will be radhi, they will be pleased with him if he performs this prayer. I owe somebody, and if I have performed this prayer of tawbah on the day of judgment, that person will be radhi with me. God will make him radhi somehow. Perhaps the reason I will tell you why that could be there. Then iman, he will leave this dunya with iman, and his grave will expand and will become illuminating, nurani. The father and mother will be radhi with him, will be pleased with him. And they also will be forgiven. Because of his prayer, the parents will also be forgiven. And his zurriya, and his generation, and his children will be forgiven as well. Right? His rizq will be expanded, will be extended, wasi. The angel of death at the time of taking the life will be very cooperative with him, and will take his life in a very swift, in a soft way. What is for whom? Who perform this prayer on Sunday, according to the Prophet. Now, the way to perform this prayer is that on a Sunday, he will take a ghusl, he will perform a ghusl, and then he will do wudu after that. After doing the ghusl of tawbah, with the intention of ghusl tawbah, and then he will do wuzu after that, right? And then he will pray 4 rakat of prayer, 4 cycles of prayer, in set of 2s, like Fajr prayer. He will do 2 rakat, salam, and then 2 rakat, salam. Now, the way to perform this prayer is that he will recite Hamd and 3 times Qul Wallahu Ahad, and after that he will recite 1 time Surah Qul A'udhu bi Rabbil Falaq and Surah Nas. And then after that he will recite Astaghfar, right? He will do Astaghfirullah. And then after reciting Astaghfirullah, he will say La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-ali al-azim. And then after that he will recite this dua: Ya Azizu, Ya Ghaffar, ighfir li dhunubi wa dhunub jami' al-mu'mineen wal mu'minat fa innahu la yaghfiru dhunuba illa ant. Perhaps when we are reciting for the forgiveness of mu'mineen and mu'minat, and our du'as are being answered on the day of judgment, if I owe something to that mu'min because I have prayed for him, he will become razi with me. That could be the reason why the Prophet have said that if a person who performs this prayer, and his performance of this prayer will be, the effect of the performance of this prayer will be that those who have right over your neck, those who that you owe them, yours, they will forgive you. It could be because of that you have prayed for them. Jameel mu'minina wal mu'minat. You have prayed for the forgiveness of all mu'minin and mu'minat, and he was one of them. And on the day of judgment, we will be looking for openings. We will be looking for ways that somehow a dua of somebody comes and we are forgiven, because nothing will benefit us other than duas and other than our amal, right? And the reason why the parents will be happy with this individual who performed this prayer could be because of that as well. Because the day of judgment is unimaginable. One cannot comprehend what the day of judgment is. Al-Qariyah, wama adrakam al-Qariyah, right? So we are completely unaware that what will happen on the day of judgment, because the darajat of the hereafter, even those who have great amal, even those who have performed good things, they will be falling short. They will be falling short of reaching high levels. They will be looking for ways that they will be helped. As it says in one of the riwayat, that on the day of judgment, the Anbiya will be running around looking for shafa'at, looking to save their ummat. And all of the Anbiya, Hazrat Musa, Hazrat Isa, Hazrat Dawood, they will come to Nabi Akram, to Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam for shafa'at. They would ask the Prophet, "O Prophet, you are the mercy to mankind, rahmatul lil alameen. Do shafa'at for us and our ummat." Because the darajat of the hereafter, the levels of Jannah is infinite. We cannot, because that's why they say that Jannat is mirathul mu'min. It is varatha of a mu'min. It is a heritage of a mu'min. Because heritage, one receives heritage without doing anything. One receives heritage without doing anything. Have I done anything to receive what my father's house and property? I have done nothing. It's given to me. So Jannah is considered as mirath, no matter of a mu'min. Leave aside me. Leave aside a person who is gunagar, a person who is full of faults. From his head to toe is full of faults. Imagine how many sins that I have committed, that I have done, so many wajibat, so many things that we have done. Imagine those things. With all those things, compare yourself and myself to Jannat and the levels of Jannat. Compare myself to Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam, where we are, how far we are. So it's a day, that's the day of judgment, where the souls will be looking for any breeze coming. So a dua of a mu'min who have prayed for you will come as a relief and release, perhaps. This 2 rakat prayer that you have prayed on a Sunday, you could say, Ya Allah, I have prayed this 2 rakat prayer the way Rasulullah have asked me. Perhaps this dua is answered. Never ever be hopeless from the mercy of God. God is merciful. Our Lord, our God is merciful, is rahmah, is mercy, is full of mercy. And God He Himself says that. Never be hopeless from the mercy of God. Oh Allah, we ask Allah that this month of Dhul Qa'dah, that Allah forgive the sins of Jami' al-Mu'mineen wal Mu'minat, that God have mercy on mankind, on humanity, right? So this prayer is performed in this fashion. Now, my Ustad Ayatollah Tahriri was mentioning that Sheikh Abbas Qummi, he says that the astaghfar is after the prayers, but he suggests that the astaghfar should be in the prayers. So after reciting 3 times Qul Huwallah, Falaq and Nas, one should do the astaghfar. And the dua is obviously in the end, right? So 2 and 2, 4 rakat prayer to be performed on a Sunday. So it's a very unique and special prayer of seeking forgiveness from the sins that we have committed. Guna, sins, really brings about zillat to insan. disrespect and dishonor, whether that be in this dunya, whether that be in the hereafter. One thing that one needs to be very careful about, and in today's world, the modern technology, it promotes that, is Iza of Mu'min, is breaking heart of Mu'min, is backbiting. These are the things that the modern technology, modern things will accelerate, will promote you to do so. Getting rid of haya, modesty. The modern technology helps you to do so. It's a shaitan, it's purely based on materialism. Materiality. The purpose of this is to take insan far away from his nafs, far away from God. I'm not saying that do not use them. I'm not saying that, because we have to use them. Now people say that, oh, it's so good, internet and Google, you can search and all that. Let me tell you this. As much as it provides you with the positive things, it provides you 100 times with the negative things. You do one good amal, you get one castle in Jannah. But the amount of negativity that it might provide you is that it will burn all your amal of this castle and the previous amal as well. It becomes that easy to post your picture on Instagram of something about yourself, and nobody likes that picture of you on your Instagram, to have that kina, to have that sort of, disrespect for the person who did not like your picture. It becomes very easy for you. This is technology. To speak on WhatsApp, to chat about someone who is not there, ghibat, it is very easy to do so. To express your thoughts in one group and come and do blasphemy about sincere scholars, about people, about family members, it is that easy for you to do so. It will destroy all your amal. So be very careful. We got to be very careful. We got to be very careful, right? So therefore, when we use these things, avoid to the maximum capacity. If you don't have an Instagram, you will not lose life. Even if you have it, be careful of what you're posting, what pictures you're posting. Be careful of that. Be careful of the reaction of the comments that you get on those pictures. What is your heart saying? It is purely individualism and nothing but that. Is nafs and ego. I want to go somewhere, take the nicest picture with that background and myself. Sometimes it's not even myself. Sometimes it's just that picture that I have taken. I have taken that picture. Ego, nafs. So it's the time and zaman that we need to be very, very, very vigilant and careful about these things. We have to really teach our community, our teachers, our children of these things. Because shaitan does not stop you from doing good. Shaitan will never stop you from doing good. Shaitan will never stop you. Shaitan wants us to do good. Oh, shaitan will ask us to do a lot of good. But he will destroy this good with one text of yours. All that good you have done is gone. Because shaitan knows that when you lose 100, you will be more upset, rather than when you have only done 5 and you save that. You will be happy. You see? When you do 5, which is very less compared to 100, right? And if you lose 5, you will not be that upset. But if you lose 100, you will be more upset. So shaitan wants you to do a lot of good. You posted a very good thing in the WhatsApp, which is seen by the group of 50. Oh, lot of sawab. For example, if you think that way, right? You get the sawab. 50 people you guided, for instance, or out of 50, 25 listen to you. In the same group, you posted something, right? And then all of that you have gain is gone, right? Plus the same thing that you do in other groups. So shaitan will never stop you to do good. It does stop you. I know I shouldn't be saying never, but it kind of makes it difficult, will stop you to doing good. But he will destroy this good by our own nafs, by our own action, by that waswas. He will destroy that. Because when he destroys it, there is more sorrow in our heart. When we see that, oh, I gained this much, and then I did this one act where I have lost everything. Right? So, the month of the qada and the fazilat of this prayer is very important. That guna, that sins, brings about zillat, brings about sort of mayusi, sorrow, brings about belittleness. A person who commits a sin, he is belittled. In front of God, in front of others, in this dunya, and if it is not shown in this dunya, in the hereafter. Because yawma tubla sarair. The day of judgment is the day that where the secrets will come out, where everybody will see on your face, right? Is the day that sarair will come out. There are two types of zillat. One zillat, because the sins will bring zillat, will bring about zillat. One zillat, one sort of belittleness, dishonor, right? Sorrow, becoming zalil, low, is good, is recommended. There's another type of zillat which is not recommended. The type of zillat which is recommended is in front of God. That one should show oneself as zalil. One should show oneself as qazi. One should show oneself as that faqir. Faqr wujudi. Insan is faqir. He is nothing. Only God is the one who gives everything. Al-izzatu lillah first. Wali-rasul. Walil-mu'mineen. If there is no izzat from God who is Aziz, then insan, what does he have? He has nothing. That izzat is because of God and from God. That izzat is there. Because he gives izzat, because he is sattarul uyub, he hides the faults as well. So what is mamdu? Faqr in front of God. Ana faqir, ana zalil, ana mudlil, in front of God. But now, one thing that I will mention here, the more the zillate, the belittleness of human being in front of God, the more the marifat of God, the more the understanding of God. The more the understanding of God, the more faqir he is, the more slave he is. That's why Prophet said, Abd is my greatest title. I love to be abd, slave. I'm nothing, I'm faqir. The other zillat which is not recommended is to show ourselves as little in front of human beings, in front of others, that I'm really nothing in front of others, in front of an insan, to extend our hand where it is rejected. Yes, in front of those who have that marifat, those who have reached that darajah kamal, those who have become the manifestation of the divine, there is nothing wrong in that. Like Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam, we ask from them because they have reached that maqam. They can intercede for us. They are the source of mercy. People will go to the Prophet. In the ayah of the Quran it says, do astaghfar for us. Prophet will not say, oh no, I will not do astaghfar. We'll reject them. No. Right? Prophet will do astaghfar for them. So the month of Ziqada is a very important month, brothers and sisters. I hope whatever is left, we benefit from it, and Allah is the one who yajubbu ma qabil, who makes it up for what is lost. If one realizes that he has lost, he will make it up, and this is the time to make it up. If we have lost amal of this month, like for example the first of Sunday, I was unable to recite this Salat of Tawbah, this coming Sunday let's recite it. The Sunday that is left, that's recited. Let's do that ghusl. And let's make this month a special month, and the month of Dhul Hijjah as well. Inshallah, we'll continue discussing these topics, and next week we'll try to shed some light on the Dahul Ard and the importance and the amal there, inshallah. And then the Dhul Hijjah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive the sins of yours and mine and our marhumin, and increase their daraja, and mahshur them with Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, our loved ones. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all Jameel Mu'mineen wal Mu'minat, forgive them all out of His special mercy. غفر الله لنا ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.